Hey, Matt here from LPT, and here's a question we get a lot from a lot of our new clients and members. And this is just, I want to spend just a few minutes answering it for you. Where do I even start? Because in case you're not already aware, one of the big unique things about LPT is our approach to helping people achieve that elusive body transformation. We call it a lifestyle transformation as opposed to a body transformation. And the reason for that is because there are so many moving parts to achieving the body transformation, and many of those moving parts are actually start from looking at your life as a whole. Now that may sound kind of a little bit woo-woo and out there, and most of the clients that come to us are like, well, Matt, yeah, but I just want to lose weight. I just want to get fit. And we're like, okay, that's great. But listen, if you're going to have to start eating clean foods and buying clean foods each week and changing your habits around cooking and changing your time management habits around getting to training or attending an LPT session, then you have to look at what the trade-offs are. If you're currently spending 2 or 3 hours a week where you're just binge watching Netflix and you're ordering takeaway, then by default, by saying yes to a program like what LPT sells, you're also saying no to those things, okay? And this is a big issue because a lot of people, they start a program like LPT's 6-week program, or they start the popular programs like the Slimming World or Weight Watchers. But what they forget to do is actually, any change requires change. And so they forget that you actually need to make complete shifts and changes in your life if that diet or fitness plan is going to be sustainable. And that's what we're really looking for, right? Is you're looking for something that is sustainable long term. You know by now, particularly if you're one of those people that have yo-yo dieted all your life, that getting a result is one thing, but actually sustaining it and keeping that result, maintaining it long term, that's where the real hard work kicks in. Most people can get quick results. Most people can lose half a stone to a stone in 6 weeks, no problem. The key, like I said, is building the lifestyle and behavioral habits to allow that to be sustainable, but also, more importantly, enjoyable. Okay? Sustainability only comes when you're actually enjoying the process. So that's why what we do at LPT to help our clients do that is we meet them where they're at. We never give you a diet plan, for instance. So a lot of people, when they hear that, like, well, what am I meant to follow? Well, we want to meet you where you're at. We want to start with small habits that you know for certainty you can change. Okay, so it might be your breakfast. It might be even something that's not related to nutrition. It might be your sleep. For a lot of people, their decision making is affected by not having adequate sleep. And so when they wake up in the morning, they're tired, the first thing they're going to do is choose a high sugary caffeinated meal. Okay, so the overall summary of this video is just to basically encourage you to look at, if you are thinking about making a healthier change in your life, look at the whole picture and look at the trade-offs. Start by not looking at what you need to do. Start looking at what you can start eliminating that's not adding value towards your end goal. So if your end goal is, and by the way, when you're setting end goals, we call them outcome goals at LPT. We always recommend to start with outcome goals that are bigger than yourself. Okay, they go further than just you. So what I mean by that is, rather than what everyone does and just focusing on themselves, like how much weight can I lose? I want to get into that dress for summer, or coming up to Christmas time, so it might be getting into that dress for the Christmas season, right? Rather than looking at that, going deeper and looking at goals that are going to inspire you far more than just getting into a dress for one night. Okay, how about living longer? How about being able to run around after your grandchildren, okay, in 25 years' time? Okay, how about having the energy and the productivity to leapfrog your career or your business or whatever you do, or whatever you're currently doing in your everyday life. See how those types of outcome goals go much further than just looking at the scales and the measurements, which actually, for a lot of our members, find that quite kind of like demoralizing when they're spending the whole life just looking at the scales all the time. Okay, so that's my first big recommendation is to look at that big outcome goal. And then what we do at LPT is we help members set process goals. So these are the smaller milestones to get there. So that's where things like measuring your hip, waist, scale measurements, energy levels, sleep quality, that's where measuring all those things is really important. And then we go really micro and we look at your daily habits, and we look at how you can start by making very small daily habits. The cool thing about doing that and looking at that life approach, that whole picture approach, is suddenly when you break it down into small daily habits, you can kind of start to see how progress is possible. And this is the big problem. A lot of people don't feel like it's possible for them to see change because all they look at is that end goal. Okay, they never bring it right back down to the small daily habits. It could be something as simple as just starting the day off with a glass of water, just to hydrate you from 8 hours of dehydration. Okay, you start really small and then you can build on that. And most people have no idea just the compound effect that can have on their life. Okay, so that's really how we recommend. We call it our TCP method at LPT. So we basically take a personal training for the fitness, lifestyle coaching, okay, for the overall approach, and personal development to help you get the mindset and the behavior change to put it all together. Okay, so hopefully that video gives you a bit of an answer to the question of how to take a different approach to achieve that elusive transformation, and yeah, hit any one of our links to find out more about how you can start your journey with LPT. Thanks for listening.